This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, you're listening to Animal Party on Pet Life Radio, and I feel like we need a drum roll here. Dusty Rainbolt, welcome to the show, Dusty.
Oh, thank you, Deb. It's wonderful to be back to visit with you and your audience.
Well, we have some behavior questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, I'm just going to ask you this right out. Sometimes people name their cats such funny things that it's hard to even tell you what they're called, but here we go. Bobbit, the cat, okay, he goes squirrely if he's kept inside. And he's a black and white cat. He's 4 years old. He lives with his mother, like Mama Cat, who is an orange tabby. So we know more about his lineage than we normally do. He's neutered and he's an indoor-outdoor cat because if she keeps him inside, he goes crazy. But he will disappear for days on end. And she's pretty sure some of their family adopts him when this happens. What can she do about it?
Well, it depends on her circumstance, which of course she hasn't really defined. But if she has a yard, I would recommend a cat fence. You can get a number of different styles of cat fence. It fits on top of your regular yard fence.
Okay.
And as long as the fence is intact, especially at the base, then these cat fences will keep Kitty in. He gets to be outside. He gets to sniff the fresh air and, go after grasshoppers and be a cat and not leave the yard. And I've had one for 25 years. I love it. I think that that's one of the reasons why I can have a multi-cat household is because they get to go out and be cats and get stimulation and exercise. And if that's not possible, exercise is the big deal. Mental stimulation, games, get the cat toy out and exercise him 2 or 3 times a day for 10 minutes till he's just exhausted.
See, I think I'd be more curious. I'd want to know who this other family is. I'd be writing a little note and attaching it to his collar. And, because I did that years ago with a cat of mine. And it turns out we both thought we owned him. And actually they did it. They sent me a note saying, "Thank you for neutering our cat." And and I was quite shocked because I had adopted him and paid for him and neutered him and vaccinated him. And apparently this house literally 2 doors away had thought he was a stray and taken him in. And so we were sharing the cat. But in this case, I'd want to know. I'd really want to know. And then, I don't know, maybe it's not so bad that he has 2 houses. Do you think it's so bad?
Well, we had a similar situation. We went through a period where 2 of our cats were able to escape the cat fence. So you have to be diligent and monitor them.
Okay.
One of them disappeared for about 3 weeks. And I took the information that is in my book, Finding Your Lost Cat, and did the special signs. And within 16 hours, a guy called and said, "Hey, I'm looking at your cat." But I'm pretty sure we were time sharing as well. But I just wanted her back, and we were able to get her in the house and get the fence fixed. And she hasn't been able to get out since.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't care. I just want to know that she's in the house and she's not going to get hit by a car or injured by a dog. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear all that noise in the background, but that is Jeffy helping himself to, he's helping himself to some envelopes. So they're now all over the
Okay.
office.
Okay. So why are cats fascinated with paper? I have this too. If I leave a few pieces of paper, maybe I'm preparing for a show and I have a few things from the news and some sheets of paper lying on a surface somewhere, they'll come chew the edges. They love that notebook, with the spirals when you pull the sheet off and it leaves the little edges. What's with paper and cats? Why are they eating paper?
I can't read cat minds and I have no idea. I do know that there's nothing better than a crumpled up piece of paper as a ball. Oh my God, it's the best. It makes noises, it rolls, it does all that stuff. But who knows? Is it the smell? Is it the little dangly things from the spiral that you've pulled off? They're just weird little animals. They probably wonder why we like some of the things we like.
That's true. Well, I know Isaac Newton is often credited with inventing the cat door because apparently he was fed up with let me in, let me out, let me in, let me out while he was trying to concentrate. So it's necessary to have one, right? If you're going to do this yard thing in the fence, unless you're 100% out with your cat the whole time, you go to take a phone call or whatever, you bring it in because something could get into the yard and then your cat's really got nowhere to escape if it doesn't have a cat door back inside. Wouldn't you say?
Well, absolutely. Yes, we do have a cat door. And in the 25 years that we've lived here with the cat fence, we've only had 2 times that other animals have come in. One time we had a raccoon. It was right after a tornado, and the raccoon was kind of not himself, and he came in the house. And then we had another neighbor cat. But if you get the right kind of cat fence, that's generally not going to be a problem because it prevents animals from coming in as well as out. Of course, it's not going to help with squirrels, but...
And there's exceptions like trees they can climb and ways they can get in and jump over. And it depends what predator you're talking about because we are worldwide. So like I'm thinking of in my neighborhood, we have bears and cougars. Cougars love to eat cats. So,
right.
They're not, none of this is going to deter them from getting in there. You want your cat to be able to escape fast. And there are cat doors that are sensitive to a collar. So only an animal wearing that specific collar can enter the cat door. So that eliminates your neighbor's cat from getting in there or the raccoon, which is very helpful because you don't want a raccoon in your house. No, definitely not. Okay, so we're going to go to break and come back and talk to Dusty Rainbolt, the cat wrangler, the author of Kittens for Dummies, and so many more books, including the new release of Those Cats. We'll be talking to Dusty Rainbolt on Animal Party Pet Life Radio. Stay tuned.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello! We're back on Animal Party on Pet Life Radio with Dusty Rainbolt, my guest, the cat wrangler herself. So, okay, got another question sent in. This lady has 4 cats. Actually, it's 5. 4 that get along and 1 that doesn't. And she wants to know how she can help the 1 cat that doesn't learn to get along with the other 4. And one of the 4 is a sister of the cat that doesn't get along with everybody, if that's helpful at all.
Well, okay, so again, we don't have all the details, and the devil is in the details.
I do actually have a very, very long email from this lady. So if you tell me what you need to know, I might be able to sift it out.
I'm going to make some assumptions, and it's good information for everybody. And if this is not, helpful in this situation, then we'll go from there.
The 2 sister cats are older than the other 4, but 3 came together. Anyway, bunch of cats, young cats, 2 that are about 5, and 1 gets along with everyone now. She actually thanks you for the touch face trick. So we'll talk about that in a second. She said, because the 2 sisters weren't getting along with any of the new cats, and now they do. The one does, but it didn't work on the other sister. So touching her face and touching the cat she hates and spreading their scents back and forth, like you told her, worked with one of the sisters. Now she's part of the colony, but there's still 1 outcast.
Well, and we don't know why she's an outcast. One thing that she might want to do is take the outcast to the vet, because sometimes they're outcasts for a reason. The other cats may detect an infection or illness or whatever. That's a possibility. I had one client, she took the cat to the vet when the other cats would attack her. And she discovered the pattern. The girl cat needed to have her anal glands expressed whenever that would happen. So, but I think one of the most important things when you have multiple cats, whether you have 2 or 20, is to make sure there's territory for everybody. And if you have 5 cats, you need at least 6 litter boxes. And the litter boxes need to be spread out throughout the house, because if you have 6 litter boxes side by side, that means if you have a dominant cat who doesn't feel like sharing, then this poor cat who is bullied isn't going to have access to the litter boxes. You also want to have food spread out throughout the house, because the bullies can't protect everything in different places at the same time.
And water too, for sure.
Yeah, food and water, and don't put those next to the litter box, because nobody wants to eat in the bathroom.
No, I discovered that when I was nursing my children. Like, why do I have to nurse a child in a stinky public bathroom? It's disgusting. They don't want to eat in the bathroom. Yeah. Exactly. The anal glands make sense, though, because, people are thinking, well, why would the cats be mean to the cat if it was sick? Well, if its anal glands are blocked, it's giving off wrong messages. Attack messages, fear messages, all kinds of stuff that comes with scenting. So that would make sense. In a dog pack, a dog, like a family with multiple dogs, you might not get the same reaction. If they truly love each other, they wouldn't necessarily avoid or pick on the sick member. They might groom it. They might give it a lot of attention and care. So it would almost be an opposite reaction that you'd have to recognize. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, don't cats really love each other? Like, wouldn't they support each other when one is sick? I mean, I've seen that here when a cat gets old, and other cats will sort of cuddle it at night to keep it warm and things like that.
Well, I think that that's true. I mean, my goodness, I've had cats that were wonderful caretakers of elderly and sick cats. But you have to remember, cats are so much closer to being a wild animal. They domesticated themselves. And so, we have bred dogs to be friendly and to do all these things. Well, cats are still just really close to those wild animals that joined us 10,000 years ago. So it's a survival mechanism. You don't want to be around sick animals because, you don't want to get sick. So my thought is that, we have to take care of ourselves in the wild, because nobody else is going to do it for us. The cat's thinking, that is.
Well, and there are exceptions to this. Like when I used to take care of this golden retriever kennel that I looked after, there was an epileptic dog, and he could never be left unsupervised with other dogs, because if he had a seizure, they might attack him.
Right.
Which,
exactly.
But it's a bunch of things. It's not just that he's sick. It's that he's sending off crazy messages. The others don't know how to react. So that never happened, and he was fine. He lived a long life. His name was Jake. But still, you kind of think, well, that's terrible, but not from an animal point of view, it isn't.
They're probably sending off electrical signals of some kind that aren't normal when they're having seizures. There are probably changes in scent. There are fear pheromones. There's just all kinds of things going on. So, but getting back to this lady's situation, there are a couple other things I would do. I would keep this cat away from the group. We had a situation very similar, and I put a screen door on my office, and then that way the scents are going back and forth. And I also put a feel away plug-in in the room, so he's constantly smelling these friendly pheromones that say it's okay to be around other cats. And so because the cats could smell each other, but they would also see that there was no threat, because he's out, he's behind the screen door. And eventually they got used to each other, and we very seldom have problems now.
See, okay, in my house, screen doors are favorite things to be shredded. I think I would go with the half screen, so the bottom's metal, because I think that people might buy a screen and have it just shredded.
We actually bought a screen door that has a hard metal grill. It's designed for dogs. And so about halfway up the screen, you've got this metal grate, and it's pretty tough. And the cats really haven't been interested in tearing it up. So keep their nails trimmed and
Okay, so we're going to go to another break and we'll be back with Dusty Rainbolt on Animal Party Pet Life Radio.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello! We're back on Animal Party on Pet Life Radio. And me, Deb Wolf, and my favorite cat expert, Dusty Rainbolt. And I want to talk about Feel Away, because I've had dramatic results with that. I know you just mentioned it. And it seems kind of hokey, and it seems kind of expensive. And you think, well, is this really going to work? Is this worth the $30 or $50 investment to get the thing that you plug into the wall and then the refills and then they run out and you have to refill it? But actually, it's a godsend. So I don't know. Have you found great luck with this thing like I have?
oh, I love Feel Away. My cats love Feel Away. It's funny because at the end, the plug-in is supposed to be good for a month. I don't pay attention to, where it is in the month, but I can tell by the way that the cats react to each other, whether it's time to replace it or not. It's basically a synthetic facial pheromone, and cats produce pheromones all over their bodies. They have facial pheromones that are the friendly pheromones, like when the cat bumps up against you or rubs between your legs, and he's depositing these friendly scents on you. Or he may, head bump his buddies. It's peace, love, I want to be your friend. Okay, then there are alarm pheromones that are in the paws. And those pheromones happen when they're scratching. And that's a warning to other cats. Oops, I smelled a big dog in this area. That's why one of the reasons they scratch on trees and vertical objects. And then there are the anal pheromones that are not, those are unfriendly pheromones and dominant pheromones. But anyway, so these pheromones in the face, there's an analog, and they've created these synthetic pheromones. And the cat can't tell the difference between their own personal scent and the synthetic scent. So if you have the plug-in and the whole room smells like this, it's very relaxing. It makes them feel safe. And it's amazing. It's miraculous.
I've had great results with it, especially when I'm rescuing cats or there's foster cats coming in and out, and I want the rest of my cats to just be chill while this happens in a different area. I'll plug one in the hall near where the new cats are, and the older cats that are residents will just not even bother with it. They're just so content, like you say. But okay, so this brings me to something. I often think cats might be smarter than dogs, maybe. And, there's a cat in Australia, the record holder. She did 24 tricks in 1 minute. So, maybe, right? Maybe cats are smarter than dogs, I sometimes think. But then when I do your trick where you rub your cat's face, the two enemy cats, and then you rub the other one's face, and you go back and forth until they each smell like the other, and they become friends, and they think that they each are the other, and they get so confused that they love each other. Okay, that makes me think maybe cats aren't smarter than dogs, because if you did that with a dog, if you took the scent of a cat and you rubbed it on his face, he would hunt that cat. And it wouldn't trick him at all. He wouldn't think, oh, that's me. No, you could take a scent of another dog and rub it on his face, and he still wouldn't understand. He would look for that dog. He would not understand why or get confused at all about his scent and their scent and who's who, and not at all. So how can you explain this difference? It's so striking.
It is striking. And to be honest, I don't know enough about dog scent and dog pheromones, but as I just said a minute ago, cats have different pheromones in different parts of their body. And so if you're rubbing the head and getting the friendly pheromones, then it's friendly, it's comforting, it's non-threatening. But I mean, if you rub his bottom and then put that on another cat, that's a whole different story. So I don't know if dogs have different alerts, pheromones or not.
Yeah, they do. They do with it, but they still would not think, "Oh, that's not me. That's me. But that's us." No, they would still clearly know, "I'm me. You're you. That's another dog. That's a cat." They, but they would never get confused about the smell of themselves and another.
Well, there's also the fragrance, for lack of a better word. I guess there are better words, but anyway, so there's a clouder scent, and if you have 4 cats and they're all rubbing up against each other, then their scents are mingled. And so when you bring somebody in, somebody new, a new foster or whatever, or if you take someone to the vet and bring them back, their scent is changed. They're not part of this corporate clouder. And that was actually one of the problems we had with my husband's cat Fluffy, because she would escape the yard for 4 or 5 days and come back, and our timeshare cat with another family. And Jeffy, the new boy, would go after her because she no longer smelled like she belonged.
Right. Or when they come back from the vet sometimes.
Exactly.
If they've been overnight, especially, they smell like some weird place, and maybe some fear and maybe some pain. And no, you're not our cat.
And
we
surgery,
don't know you.
All the chemicals they use on you in surgery.
So what do you do? I mean, I bathe the cat while it's still drugged.
Well, you know what?
That's a good plan.
I don't think you need to do that. I think the better thing is just isolate the cat for as long as you need to. I mean, it might be just a couple hours till he takes a good bath and he smells like him again. Or, especially if he's had to have some kind of procedure, maybe you need to isolate him for a couple of days,
Could you take bedding, for example, like a blanket, and switch them back and forth so that your cat that just came back from the vet is sitting in a blanket that the other cats have been in, and vice versa, back and forth?
I think that
I would do that.
I think that's very helpful. But again, I wouldn't rush it. I mean, unless you have absolutely no room and you have to, but you're going to have a bathroom. But yeah, just give him a chance to smell like himself. The blanket is a great idea. He's getting the scent of the other cats back. And, if he's had to be under anesthesia, his actual physical self, not just his fur, but his body may smell different. So, you may want to let him rest for 24 hours and work off those drugs that were in his system. And then, if nothing else, just open the door a little bit, give everybody a treat. And that usually works pretty well. Of course, there are always exceptions.
That's true, especially with cats. Okay, so we're going to go to break, and we'll be back with Dusty Rainbolt on Animal Party Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum. Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello! We're back on Animal Party on Pet Life Radio. And I know that sometimes people call a group of cats a colony, and sometimes a clouder, and sometimes a clutter, and sometimes a glaring, which I think is interesting because cats don't need to blink. So that's kind of appropriate, isn't it, Dusty?
It totally is. And a group of kittens is called a Kindle.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I'm writing that down. And that helps remind you, do not leave kittens around candles that are lit because they will play with flame.
No, not candle, Kindle.
Kindle, I know, but still.
Oh, okay.
They will kindle your house.
And they will kindle your house.
So, sometimes I come across something on the internet and sometimes it's accurate and sometimes it's really wrong and sometimes it's half the story. So here's one that's half the story. It's talking about cat behavior and cat body language. And it's correct, but it fails to give a very key warning. It says, if your cat approaches you with a straight, almost vibrating tail, it means that your cat is happy. Well, okay, that's true. But it also means he's about to spray, most likely, wouldn't you say? I mean, shouldn't that come with a little bit of a warning about what's going on behind the cat?
Well, yes and no. There's the faux spray, and sometimes cats are next to a wall and they do the faux spray. It looks just like a regular spray position and nothing comes out. Other times they just wiggle that tail when they're excited.
That's true. It can false alarm. It depends. And it does depend how serious it seems and how many passes they do. And look behind them, see what's going on.
So the secret is, it's like a human. We look at another person's face to decide what they're thinking. And they're smiling, right? Okay, so people smile, but that doesn't mean that they're happy. Now, you also look at the eyebrows. You look at the crossed arms. You look at a lot of different.
Yeah. Aspects. Are they standing still? Or are they pacing?
Exactly.
Are they moving their hands in any way? Are they biting their nails? Are they fiddling with something? Like there's so many other tip-offs.
So if the cat is approaching you with the tail up and he's kind of wiggling and he's not next to, say, usually when they spray on a vertical surface nearby. They back up and they spray like that. But if he's just walking up to you and his tail is quivering and his ears are forward and his whiskers are forward and his eyes look happy and they're looking at you, then it's likely not going to be a marking situation. If he's looking at you and he's backing up to the wall and his tail is quivering, then it's time to get the carpet cleaner out and make sure you clean the height of the wall that he could have reached.
And not just clean, then vinegar it, and then use some kind of special product that's made for getting rid of urine, because otherwise he will still smell it and come back.
Absolutely.
And if this is a new behavior, it's probably because a different cat scented it first. Maybe you had a visitor.
That's true. But it's been my observation that if cats suddenly start marking, they may need to go to the vet.
That's true.
Frequently, the stress of illness, whether the illness is dental pain or internal pain or whatever, discomfort, sometimes that will cause them to mark. So if it's a new behavior, take them to the vet. Any new behavior.
Yeah, that's so important. You want to rule out the physical first before you waste your time and energy on something your cat can't fix if he's sick. What do you think about that litter that tells you if you've got a cat that's acting strangely and you want to know what kind of problem, does that litter help? The one with the different colors?
I have mixed feelings about that. I think it's important to know if your cat, if there's blood in the urine, because if there is blood in the urine, we definitely need to go to the vet. It's likely either a bladder infection or it could be inflammation as a result of stress. Either way, we need to get them on pain control and deal with the cause of it. But the ones that are strictly pH, I don't think those are effective at all, because a lot of things can affect pH. The food can affect pH. The stress levels can affect pH. So I would just monitor them. And if you use like a white litter, you might be able to see if there's blood, a trace of blood in it.
Oh, that's a good tip. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the fact that some body language with cats. And one thing I learned from you years ago was how to say hi to a cat. And so we said in the show that cats don't need to blink. That is true, but they will blink. They will close their eyes and hold it for a second or two and then open them again if they like you. And so if you come into a room with a cat that you like, try doing that. And chances are the cat will do it back. And now you've said hello to your cat. And I think it's very interesting because it's a very primitive, I'm trusting you enough to close my eyes in your presence kind of a situation. And dogs will do it too, but not in greeting. It's much, much further along in the relationship that dogs will do that, and further along in the meeting. They meet and they greet each other, and they have some more rituals before they'll actually go bum to bum or back to back, which is kind of, I trust you enough to give you my back. And they'll often right before that do a closed eye, face on face, just a quick check in. Like, do you trust me? Yeah, I trust you. Okay, back to back. And you watch that way, I watch this way. Got it. Good. Got it. So I want to thank you for all the tips you've given me over the years, and to let listeners know, if you want to know about cat behavior, if you want to know how to tell the bully from the victim, or how to figure out all kinds of things about reading your cats, you can scroll back over our old shows and just find any show with Dusty Rainbolt that I've done. And you'll be learning so much about cat behavior and things like that. Cats have timeshare. They don't just timeshare people, they timeshare places in your house. So a spot in your house will be very valuable and worth fighting over when the sun is shining on it, but not valuable at all at a different time of day. All kinds of stuff like that Dusty's taught me over the years that you'll be able to hear from our past shows. So please take advantage of that at Animal Party Pet Life Radio. And if you're interested in dogs, I will be doing some dog shows coming up. And you can always check in at the dogs at Camp Good Dog on Facebook, Camp Good Dog. And we have YouTube as well, and Instagram, Deb Wolf Pet Expert on YouTube. And that's where you'll see me demonstrating with dogs mostly, but some cats, all kinds of tips and training tips and some great videos. And we post video all the time on Instagram as well. So come to Camp Good Dog Facebook and you can find the rest, or go to Deb Wolf Pet Expert on YouTube if that's what you like. And you can see Doodle and Poodle puppies playing on the farm, which is everybody's favorite. We get so many likes for that. Okay, so thank you, Dusty. I think I may have to take you up on making a squeaky toy that only cats can hear. What do you think?
I'm there. I think we need to figure out how to make that little squeaky thing. And I think we'd sell a bunch of them.
And we got to go with mouse, because we don't want to be teaching cats to chase birds. We got to go either bug or mouse. I don't know we could do both. We could have a spider and we could have a mouse.
Yep, I agree. Let's do this.
And maybe we could connect the spider, because it's so creepy and it kind of relates. Somehow we could maybe give a spider away with a ghost cat book sold. It's special on a special offer or something like that. We could work it in.
I think that is the best. Let's do it.
Okay. All right, everybody. So we've been talking to Dusty Rainbolt, and she's the author of Cat Wrangling Made Easy, which is a must for anyone with many, many cats. And that's like more than two. And then also Kittens for Dummies, and so many other books, including the latest re-release of Ghost Cats, just in time for Halloween. So check that out. Thank you for joining me, Dusty.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk with you and your listeners. And I wish you a happy autumn, a happy Halloween. It's still a little ways off, but looking forward to our next conversation.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much, Dusty. All right, everybody, from Deb Wolf, that's me, and Animal Party and Pet Life Radio, and Dusty Rainbolt, be good to your animals.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.